All right, hello and welcome to this week's episode of 4-Minute Fridays, where we take a few minutes every week to speak with some of the people that make Advocate Christ such a special place to train. Today, I'm sitting down with two of our current PGY3s now to discuss their military background and some of the things that drew them specifically to Christ. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys introduce yourselves. Hanway, we'll start with you up top.
Sure. So my name is Tim. I'm one of the chiefs and one of the third years. I was raised in a military family. My dad was in the Air Force for 26 years, I believe. I went to med school in Kansas City. While I was there, I was doing the Air Force scholarship. I graduated in 2015 and then moved down to San Antonio with my wife. While she was down there doing her pediatrics residency, I was there in the Air Force in San Antonio. I was a flight surgeon. During that time, I flew the T-6, T-38, the F-15, and F-16. Then after those 3 years there, I moved up here to Christ.
Awesome. And Cranmer, go ahead.
Yeah, so my name is Tom Cranmer from California. I joined the Navy in 1998 and went pretty much straight to SEAL training. I graduated at the end of 1999. I was stationed at SEAL Team 3. I was in training when September 11th happened. We emergently deployed about 2 weeks after September 11th to the Middle East, where we conducted a deployment. I came back, I was assigned to SEAL Team 7. While at SEAL Team 7, I was picked up for a commissioning program that sent me back to school. So I went to the University of San Diego for 3 years between 2003 and 2006. When I graduated, I was commissioned and sent back to SEAL Team 7, where I conducted another 2 deployments to the Middle East. I then went to training, worked as an instructor at the SEAL training for 2 or 3 years. I got out in 2014. I went to University of California at Davis for med school, graduated and started at Christ.
And with backgrounds like that, that's why we don't start the clock on the 4 minutes until after the intros. So it's become a tradition here where before we get into the actual meat of this, we do a quick Chicago themed question. And so as we're wrapping up the month of July here, I wanted to ask each of you guys what your favorite either 4th of July or patriotic summer activity is. Cranmer, you can go first again.
Sure. So in California, there are some pretty strict restrictions on fireworks. Here in Illinois, somewhat the same. However, in Wisconsin as well as Indiana, you can pretty much buy whatever you'd like. So this 4th of July, we actually had a great time. Went down there, picked up some fireworks, and had a great 4th of July barbecue with the neighbors and a big show at the end of the night.
At this point, I'd like to remind any of the viewers to make sure your disability insurance is up to date before you listen to Dr. Cranmer.
It is.
And Hanway, how about you?
Yeah, for me, I would say it's not exactly a July 4th thing. I think it's in August. It's the Air and Water Show. It's a big air show Chicago has over by the Navy Pier. I can actually watch it off my balcony, so that's really, really fun. It's very nostalgic, I would say, for me to watch all the jets fly over. Some of those jets I actually flew in back when I was in, so it's a good time.
That's pretty awesome. And I was saying earlier, my when I was living right next to Grant Park, my favorite thing to do was go on the practice day, the Friday before. You just lay in the park and they would buzz you over the park. It was
So nice.
Kind of like awe-striking, actually. But obviously a great deal of leadership experience in the background there, and we get to kind of appreciate that each day in the department. But it seems that in recent years, we have somebody basically in each class with military background. And so I wanted to talk with you guys about, if you thought that there was something about our environment or our training experience that maybe attracts people like you with military backgrounds. We'll start with you, Hanway.
Yeah, probably my biggest thing for me is the one-on-one with the attending. So all the shifts, the whole time you're in the ER from the start of intern year until the end of third year, it's always having you and your attending on your team. And that is really, really good to have the expert there all the time, have the very direct feedback only from the expert, not from like a third year resident who maybe had like a side hand remark from an attending, is always right from the attending. There's some in the military. There's also a lot of having to go through a lot of hoops and a lot of red tape. So having that completely cut out at Christ was really appealing to me.
And Cranmer, how about you?
Yeah, so I definitely echo what my co-resident said, because that was an attractive element. But additionally, I was looking for something that in terms of difficulty and acuity and, large numbers of people, I wanted to see those people to get me ready for, when I'm practicing on my own. So between that and then, when I found out that there was actually military personnel that would come and train at Christ, I mean, that really sold it for me as well.
So that's a little bit about kind of what drew you guys here initially. It's kind of interesting. Now you're on the flip side as PGY3 is looking back. And I was curious, kind of now, as you look through your training so far, is there something that kind of the thing that you value the most, or the part about training at Christ that you appreciate the most? Hanway, go ahead.
Probably for me, I would say it's the acuity. There's tons and tons of patients here. There's super, super high acuity. There's not the traditional hierarchy in the sense that, like, as an intern, you'll be doing intubations and central lines, all kinds of procedures. So you really get very comfortable with those. So I actually owe the Air Force 2 more years of service still. So after I graduate, I'll go back in the Air Force. And I'm 100% certain that doesn't matter where I go, over to a war zone, Kona somewhere, anything like that, that I will definitely be prepared, because it's not going to be as bad as it was at Christ.
And Cranmer, how about you?
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, when I was looking for a place to train, I was looking for a level 1 urban high volume training center with both complex medical patients as well as, a large number of, diverse trauma patients that were coming in. And that's really exactly what I found. But at the end of the day, I think in any training environment, you want to be with people that you enjoy. And I've really enjoyed the residents as well as the attendings I've been working with.
Awesome. Well said, guys. Well, I think I speak for all of us when I say we appreciate kind of everything you've done for our country so far, or will do in the future. And looking forward to more shifts in the ED. And I'll see all you guys soon.
Sounds good. Thanks.